All right, this. I mean, I really, you gonna have to give me some time on this one. I really do need just a little bit. Do you have a problem announcing or introducing your lady? I mean, that is like I think one of the things that I think women really key in. I mean, really try to pay attention to with us when we're out. Oh my God! I mean, it's like the nudge or I'm gonna lean a little bit closer because I want to see how you're going to announce me or introduce me. Magic, help me out with this.
Steve put it out there. It's kind of funny, because they do look at that, and not to say that what he said was true, but it does have a whole lot of weight because you think about it and how you introduce a person, how you particularly might be feeling at that particular time, might be illustrated to that person. But it's not always true if you don't introduce them. Sean, you're in a business, and a lot of times we might come up on a person that we don't really know.
Oh my God!
And they might say hello to us, and we're trying to find that person's name.
Right.
So then the woman plays that role as
Absolutely.
a friend,
right.
And you have to say, "And what was your name?
Exactly.
Help me out on that particular."
Man, I'm gonna tell you, what's funny about that too is that I've gone to the point where if I am with my lady friend,
exactly,
I'll let her know I'm horrible with names. So check this out. If we're together and there's some, help me out.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? As much as you want me to introduce you properly, I don't remember everybody's name. You know, the business we're in, we know a lot of people, so it's kind of hard to remember a lot of names but recognize the faces. But I'm not gonna get into any more of that. But I'm gonna let a couple other. But John, I know you're over there getting your nails buffed on. But no, John, wait, can you get into that? How you're married,
right?
So it's a little easy for you. Let's give John a little bit, brother. No, John.
But even when before we were married, I really didn't have a problem ever introducing, to. I can understand where my man is coming from over here. Everybody you run up on, you're not that close to him. You don't want to say, I go into this big, long soliloquy. This is my girlfriend, or this is my woman, or whoever. This is my girl, this is my friend, and keep it moving. But the people that you're decently cool with, hey, this is my woman. If it comes to the point where you're gonna have that problem introducing, I think that you got some things you need to probably get together because I think people might have a few skeletons that they're trying to keep in that closet.
And that's exactly where I wanted to go for a second. I was going to move from that for a second and say, how many brothers in here who have had a problem actually doing that? Being out and didn't want to quite introduce her as your lady or this is my friend, when you've done other things. In her mind, she feels like, now we're more than friends, so I could say I've done that before. I'll be honest about it. I've been there. I've done it and didn't know how to really handle it. Let me say that part. I didn't really know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? In all honesty, I just didn't.
But at that point, did you guys define what you were, though? So that's the whole thing. That definition gets lost sometimes.
And it's usually the miscommunication. The communication right there is usually lost sometimes, and then you're thrust out, and you're out in an environment where you have to introduce, and you're all looking at each other like, how do I introduce us?
Right.
So, I got you. Anybody else want to weigh in on that?
Well, that's part of the groundwork, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of relationship. I think John hit the nail on the head in terms of saying, if you do the work ahead of time and get clear about what it is that person is for you in the relationship, then it becomes easier for you to not have this drama or these issues show up. I've been in that situation, and I've had people just nut up on me later on because I looked the wrong way, I didn't say the proper thing.
Right.
But I realized then it was their issue, it wasn't mine.
Right.
And then I had to go back, though, and work on, okay, so here's what we're trying to get. You and I are trying to be friends at a level where whatever makes you happy, I'm willing to do.
Okay.
If it is inside this relationship that we have.
Right.
But if what you're saying to me is you want me to be nervous every time another person shows up that I might have had a relationship with, then we're in the wrong relationship.
Right.
So I had to get clear about what the relationship was and what they understood about me. I happen to be a person that likes to meet people, and I like people.
Right. And so it seems that more than anything, this is really the lack of communication.
Yes.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly what it is.
And in Steve's book, that's what he really stresses, is that whole communication piece. Is that we don't talk enough. We just it's a lot of action. It's not that much talking. Hell, I probably a lot of y'all in here, if we were just dating You don't know your girl's favorite color. We don't even talk that. We don't even get to the simple things, and that's why, you know, one of my questions is going to get to that later, but we forget the simple things in a relationship that truly would define the relationship a lot better through communication. Right. Sit down and talk to your lady. And I'm sure that's what Steve was trying to say. I'm not mad at the book, but, you know, it did with a lot of women. I'm going to use where I work, for instance. You know, in the office, I think that every woman in our school, and I teach to it, every woman in our school, Taylor, we co-workers, was reading this book. I walked in the office, and they all started laughing. I'm like, why y'all laughing at me? What did I do? They like, You know, it's like, wow, this book took, I can't even explain the emotion that the women were feeling when it came to men just because they weren't educated. And that's what we're here today for. We're here to talk about what we're dealing with this book and what it has done to a lot of brothers and how the brothers feel about this book. For me, I always said, I would say this, I'm going to get off my own soapbox, that the book really doesn't fit everyone.
Right.
It's timing. It's a timing in your relationship. Women, you can read this book and feel like, so what about this 90 days? Well, we did it before 90 days. So now what?
Right.
So now I have to do everything that he said in the 90 days. We didn't did it before 90 days. So, you know, I mean, we want to get more so into that whole 90-day rule. Man, that 90-day rule, that's to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do agree that the 90-day issue is an individual situation. I don't think Steve should have put a specific time frame on how long he felt a female should make a man wait for them to be intimate with each other, because sometimes love just happens a lot faster than that.
Absolutely.
Certainly, I would expect it to happen a lot faster than that in my case. But I saw 90 days.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Y'all want it real? That's real. I saw 90 days and I wrote the book, no. Most of the things I agree with him with, but that's one of the things that I was a little vehement about.
I think one thing that he was putting out there is just women have principle.
Right.
And if you can get anything out of the message that Steve's trying to get out there, you know, you got to give him the credit for being that doctor who's talked to those people in these situations.
Right.
And he's just trying to get the women to have some principle about themselves.
Absolutely. Well, I think
90
also,
days.
I mean, Steve is a father and he has daughters too, and I think that what he's doing also is that as a father, he's maybe Steve, I can't speak for you, but you know, I would think that you trying to make this whole responsibility thing and that your girls see, hear, and know. I think that seriously for the sisters who need that education, that's great, but it does not apply to every person. You know, the 90-day rule, it just doesn't apply to everyone. You know what your time is on everything that you're doing.